Inside a remote sanctuary in the Indian Ocean, ultra-exclusive luxury superyachts anchor alongside some of the most ancient geological formations on Earth. This is the Seychelles, an archipelago defined by profound isolation, where nearly 100 islands remain scattered across a vast, empty stretch of the Indian Ocean. Despite its distance from major global hubs, the nation operates a unique geopolitical framework, a completely visa-free entry policy for every citizen on the planet. Travelers from the US, the UK, the European Union, and India all possess unrestricted legal clearance to arrive without a traditional consulate application. But this legally open border is strictly managed, replaced by a highly calibrated digital filter. In this system, exclusivity is not maintained by a passport's rank, but by a rigorous financial threshold required to enter the marketplace. For those seeking access to these iconic bays, the first step is clearing a non-negotiable digital mandate. Every inbound international traveler must secure an official authorization through the Seychelles electronic border system before they are permitted to board a flight. Immigration control requires physical proof of three specific assets: a valid passport, a confirmed return flight, and pre-booked accommodation vouchers. This automated process functions as verification of both intent and capital, ensuring every visitor has the means to sustain themselves in a high-cost environment. By streamlining entry for the global elite while requiring significant prepaid logistics, the Seychelles has become the easiest country to enter and one of the most expensive to inhabit. Beyond the luxury resorts lies a heavy industrial reality, the constant logistical struggle to keep a remote archipelago supplied. With limited terrestrial space for agriculture or heavy manufacturing, the Seychelles is forced to rely on a massive volume of imports. This reliance creates a pervasive price floor. Over 90% of daily consumer assets, electronics, and fuels are subject to extensive maritime freight markups before reaching the consumer. These costs are reflected in the capital of Victoria, where a clean, furnished one-bedroom flat typically commands between $800 and $1,500 per month. Daily expenses follow a similar trajectory. While a basic meal in a local market costs up to $25, a dinner in the high-end coastal resort strips can easily exceed $150 per person. Because these prices are driven by global shipping costs rather than local productivity, the cost of living often outpaces the local economy, resulting in tightly compressed domestic wages for standard labor. To balance these high operational costs, the nation has cultivated specialized high-yield revenue streams that tap directly into global capital. A primary pillar of this revenue is the industrial tuna fishery, a massive operation that stands as a monopoly within the region. This structure is supported by two other elite pillars: ultra-high-end international tourism and a powerful offshore financial registry. Using localized satellite arrays like Starlink, international remote workers can leverage zero-tax corporate structures, pulling in foreign currency earnings while bypassing the domestic economic constraints. This consistent influx of elite capital allows the state to maintain a highly stable and secure society, where violent crime and major street syndicates are practically non-existent. The result is a peaceful, orderly lifestyle defined by a fusion of French elegance, East African Creole traditions, and vibrant Indian influences. The offshore financial matrix is the engine that provides the surplus capital necessary to protect this level of societal stability in the middle of the ocean. The archipelago enjoys a tropical marine climate, with temperatures consistently between 24 and 30 degrees Celsius. The prime window for clear water and low humidity occurs from May to September. The high financial barriers to living here act as a low-volume filter, shielding the island's rarest evolutionary wonders from the pressures of mass commercialization. This protection is most evident at the Aldabra Atoll, home to over 100,000 wild giant tortoises, outnumbering the humans in the entire country. The Seychelles is also the exclusive home of the Coco de Mer palm, an evolutionary anomaly that grows nowhere else on Earth. The palm produces a seed that stands as the largest and heaviest in the plant kingdom, with some specimens weighing as much as 30 kilograms. These prehistoric species have survived only because the country's aggressive financial premiums have prevented the environmental degradation that typically follows global tourism. The reality of the Seychelles is a paradox. It offers a world record level of legal access, but maintains its borders through strict economic exclusivity. It is a masterclass in using global corporate finance to fund and preserve a pristine, isolated environment. Could you justify the logistical premiums of island life for a zero-tax sanctuary where giant tortoises rule? Let us know in the comments. Next stop, Sierra Leone, the rugged Diamond Hills and the coastal history of West Africa. Subscribe to stay real.